For those that don't know me, and there's a lot of people in the room that don't, my name's Kevin Tallon. I'm a Lower Lakes assessment guy and for the Sea Lamprey Control Center in Sault Ste. Marie, Ontario. And today I've been tasked with giving a brief update on sea lamprey control activities in Lake Erie. So for an outline, I'm going to talk a little bit about the metrics in which we assess the effectiveness of our program. Program highlights from 2015. I'll talk about our lampricide control, alternative control, specifically barriers, and larval, juvenile, and adult assessment. As well, I'll go into a bit of detail on our tentative plans for 2016. Targets, these were based on a 5-year period, 91 to 95, when marking rates were closest to 5 marks per 100 lake trout, greater than 533 millimeters. For 2015, our target adult index is just over 3,000 adult sea lampreys, and the wounding target is less than 5 A1 to A3 marks per 100 lake trout of the same size. As Jim mentioned, we're just, wounding first. The last few years, it's quite a buzz up here, a little bit of feedback. The last few years, it's been an upward trend, but from what I understand, we have a number now for 2015, and it's a significant dip to I think it's around 12 marks per 100 fish, and the horizontal green line is our target of 5 marks per 100 fish. And as far as abundance estimates, again, a downward trend, still above target, which is that horizontal line of just over 3,000 lampreys. Bit of duplication here. I'm going to talk about lampricide control, barriers, larval assessment, juvenile assessment, some new work that we've done in 2015, as well as our adult index work. In 2015, we successfully treated 7 tributaries in Lake Erie. 6 of them were in the US, 1 in Canada. Kamoka Creek, which is a tributary of the Thames River, was treated for the first time in 2015. Paint Creek, which is a tributary to the Clinton River, and Big Sister Creek was treated for the first time in 2015. As well, Canada Way Creek was treated for the first time since 1986. Also, the entire infested distribution of Conneaut Creek was treated for the first time. There was an upstream area that was excluded in previous treatments due to the presence of protected species, so we were able to treat that for the first time successfully. As well, Crooked Creek was added to the treatment schedule in 2015 based on 2015 larval assessment results, where they found large larval and metamorphosing sea lampreys during those assessments. Bit of a spatial distribution of the treatments from 2015. Kamoka Creek, which is a tributary to the Thames, tributary to Lake St. Clair, is actually about 270 plus kilometers upstream of that point, red dot on the map, which is interesting. They swim a long way to spawn in that tributary. Barriers, we had routine maintenance, spring startup, safety inspections on the 7 purpose-built Canadian barriers. Repairs and improvements were conducted on Little Otter, Youngs, and Forestville Creeks. And also field crews visited 139 structures to assess the blocking potential and add information to the barrier inventory project. I forget what that stands for. Barrier inventory project selection system. There we go. Thanks, Paul. Also, the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers as the lead agency administrating a project to construct a sea lamprey barrier to replace a deteriorated structure in Harpersfield, Ohio. The Army Corps as well, along with partners, have approved the selected plan for the Springville Dam Ecosystem Restoration Project. And more information, of course, is contained in our lake reports that are available at the desk at the entrance. And lastly, for barriers, Big Otter Creek, there was a meeting between the landowner and DFO staff to discuss the Black Bridge Dam and a potential retrofit to prevent passage of sea lampreys. Larval assessment. Larval assessments were conducted on 65 tributaries, 30 Canada, 35 in the US, and 1 lentic producing tributary. 2.4 hectares, which is 48 500 square meter plots, were assessed in the St. Clair River, which is our base effort, annual base effort now, surveyed using our granular lampricide in the upper and 3 main delta channels. In 2015, we only found 24 sea lampreys, so although some of those sites were positive, we didn't find any new areas of high density that we're really concerned about. Also, as far as the HEC, or the St. Clair Detroit River system, we had taken a look at the Detroit River, again, sampled 1.1 hectares and surveyed with balicide as well. Again, no sea lampreys observed in that system. So we're lucky still there. Also, back to the St. Clair River, it was the second year, 2015 was the second year of a 2-year deep water electric fishing project in waters adjacent to Walpole Island First Nation. I think in the 2 years we performed about, I think it was around 1,100 2.5 square meter sample sites in those waters. And in 2014 we only picked up 7 larval sea lampreys, and in 2015 we didn't see any. So, and a bit of a look at the delta area and Walpole Island. It's those 7 red dots represent the catch of those 7 sea lampreys. So it's quite likely that anything that's out of the main St. Clair River channel could be drift from the main, and not actually any production in those systems or in that area, which is fortunate because we've done some habitat assessments and some remote sensing work where we've been able to tell that there is lots of suitable high quality larval habitat in there, but luckily we're not seeing the densities. Juvenile assessment, specifically out-migrating juvenile assessment. It was a new project for 2015, and this is a pike net hanging off of a shipping channel marker. As I said, it was a new project. In this photo, there's 2 Walpole Island First Nation community members, George Sands on the left and Alvy Day. They're holding their collection from the first day of tending the 9 nets that were set. So the Great Lakes Fishery Commission developed their partnership with the Walpole Island First Nation. And as I said, this was the first year of hopefully an annual pike netting index. On the first day, they found 79 juveniles in those 9 nets, and just to put that's a high number, and to put it into perspective, we've been netting the St. Mary's River for the same purpose from '96 to 2015. 11 nets we tend out there, but the average for that period is about 36 out-migrating juveniles annually, with the highest year being, I think, 109. So 79 on the first day, and a total catch of 392 juvenile sea lampreys. And it was a fairly compressed period as well, not as long as we normally tend the nets in the St. Mary's River. So we're going to continue on with this effort, and there's lots to be learned as far as the implication of that number, but we're getting there. Adult assessment, we had just under 2,500 sea lampreys trapped in 5 tributaries, all of which are index locations. And the index sea lamprey abundance in 2015 was just over 7,000. So as Jim mentioned, we're still above target, but it's a downward trend. A little bit on our tentative plans for 2016. We've got 4 streams scheduled for treatment, 3 of which are in the US and 1 in Canada. Another spatial distribution of these red dots and treatments. Some of you folks might notice that Canada Way is on here again. From what I understand, it was there's a tributary that requires retreatment on that system, so that's why it's scheduled again in 2016. Larval assessments planned on 54 streams. We're still looking for streams that are out there that are infested that we haven't found. We've got detection surveys scheduled on 28 of these streams, 17 in the US, 11 in Canada. Our base effort, as I mentioned earlier, is 48 plots, so that's our plan in 2016, including the assigning of some long-term monitoring index plots using Balicide. And the remaining work is going to be outlining the distribution on the hot spots in preparation for a day that they might require any kind of control effort. We're going to continue the Walpole Island First Nation juvenile fyke netting and to foster our partnership with the community and community members. We have additional assessments planned on the Upper Thames River. The Springbank Dam on the Thames in London is, there's a proposal for remediation or removal, so we're just taking a look at the upper reaches and taking a look at what kind of production potential is upstream if there are any, there's any movement with that dam. And again, we're going to continue to check the Detroit River every 2 to 3 years to make sure that it doesn't come online. And that's all I have.